Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, take a moment out, support the channel. I appreciate the 3-4 people who watch the nightly updates. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Click that like button, support. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I can continue to help you, point you in the right direction. Quick piece of business before, for all you guys who've been following along for years and are active traders, not investors, active traders. If you're an investor, I am as useless to you as tits on a bull. Unless that's your thing, then again, I don't judge. But if you are an active trader and you believe in the idea of data and applying that data for the next day, and you love technical analysis, or at least interested in technical analysis, come hang out for the next 30 days. Kick the tires, $47 for the whole month. See if it's a right fit for you. I promise you it's not a right fit for everybody, but if you are interested in following along, it is pretty cool. So hopefully I will continue to see and start working with a lot of new faces. So let's talk about it. Again, for the 3-4 you guys who watch these nut updates religiously, thank you very much. For all you guys that realize that the last 3 days or so, the selling didn't start. Again, if you've been watching this broadcast, we've been talking about, I've been 99, and it has to be now 95% of pretty much all my pivots I've traded since Christmas has been to the downside. And it wasn't a one-day thing. We started losing steam. We lost the 50-day moving average. We had a very, very aggressive 2-day snapback rally. And if you guys go back to Wednesday's video, because again, there's no videos on Thursday, it's my night off. The last thing I said was the longer we continue to build, the longer the bulls fail to reclaim back the 50-day moving average, the higher probability we're going to start selling and start retesting lows. I even gave you guys that 607 level on the Qs. Well, the next day, right, which was Thursday, the bulls couldn't reclaim back the 50-day moving average. You started hearing more intensified talk potentially with the United States and Iran. Again, nobody loves the talk of war, innocent lives, all that good stuff. Again, not really something that the market loves to hear, but that was our reality. And on Thursday, we gave back, right? We gave back the 5 and 100-day moving average, and the market got absolutely slammed before kind of giving a little bit of a recovery off the 150-day moving average on Friday. We'll get to that 150-day moving average and the importance of it on the Qs going forward. But the most important part, guys, and again, I hear this all the time. If you look at the data, right, if you look at the raw data, here's the raw data. We lost another 2% on the QQQs for the week. Year to date, we're only down 2%, but year to date, where it's only February the 15th, February 16th when we're recording the video. Again, the idea that you believe that the market is oversold is silly, okay? If you go year over year, the QQQs are still up about 12%. Again, I don't know what universe a lot of people live in, but if something is up 12% year over year, how can it be oversold, right? And if you look at the weekly view of the QQQs, does this look oversold? Down here, maybe. Does this look like oversold to you? So my point is, again, folks, get off social media, right? Just look at the charts, common sense, right? Just common sense, and just understand that, look, again, long-term investors, you will be fine. 5 years from now, 2 years from now, hell, maybe even 2 weeks from now, you will be okay. But the longer we continue to build below the 50-day moving average, the higher probability we will go lower. So I'm going to give you that lower scenario, okay? I'm not a bull. I'm not a bear. Again, I don't care which way the market goes. I'm an opportunist collecting off data, and that's what exactly I try to drive home every single day, and I've been trying to drive home every single day for the last 17 years that I've been hosting this platform. So here's kind of the nitty-gritty, the do or die that, hey, you better realize this area is alive. This is a big price discovery area. So 2 weeks ago, we put in a low off the 150-day moving average, which is roughly 594.70s, right? That was the low on February the 5th. Why is that important? Because the Qs bounced off once again off the 150-day moving average of roughly 596 or so. Now, somebody's could turn around and go, well, that's a double bottom. Maybe, right? Maybe. You'll never know it's a double bottom until it reclaims back the 50-day moving average. Hence why I was saying, as we were bouncing, it's still a dead cat bounce until we reclaim. So again, maybe, okay, if you want to, put it to the side, put the visors on and blah, 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 it's a bottom, that's on you. That's cool. You're all adults, your dime, your dance floor, and I hope you are right. But here's the other side of the equation, just in case you are not, okay? So we have a bottom here, double bottom, okay, on the 150-day moving average. This, just write this down, 594.70s. Any close below 594.70s really starts opening up Pandora's box. So if you thought things were very aggressive below the 50-day moving average, we start losing back the low from February the 6th. Well, it's going to open up a very, very aggressive selling cycle because if you believe in the whole theory, and the whole point of the PS60 theory is stocks trade from supply to supply and demand to demand. Well, here's demand, right? And the next demand is all the way down to here, roughly on the 580 level. So you're talking about another 14, 15 points potential on the QQQ. If it's not a big deal, right? If it's not a big deal and you're holding positions, I'm in for 5 years, and 10 years, I'm in for a 20-year hold. Again, why are you watching this broadcast, right? That's a whole different story. But again, if you are an active trader, this is your levels. This is your level of potential more technical damage. And this is where your next measure potential move is. Again, for the bulls to reclaim, for me to get bullish, okay, for the green light, the green symbol, we need to reclaim back. We talked about last week that 618, 619 level on the QQQs. And then you can buy whatever you want above the 50-day moving average because risk will be on. So again, we have our levels going into this week. 594.70s to the downside, 618, 619 to the upside. Everything else is individual stock basis. And we talked about last Wednesday, potential selling cycle if we didn't reclaim. The volatility and the violence started on Thursday, right? So here was Thursday. So in video, I was watching above 93.60s, and we'll get to the video in a second. Not on the upside, but the video I was watching didn't confirm. CRWV, I've been talking about it for like 3-4 videos. Didn't confirm on Thursday, but it confirmed on Friday. We'll get to that in a second. And then we started talking about on the weekend, on the Wednesday video, watch Google potential earnings lows. Watch Meta potentially losing the 50-day moving average. Watch Amazon potentially losing earnings lows. Watch A-Lab, which I actually traded a thin stock, which will probably be my last thin stock trade that I'm ever going to take for a while. But A-Lab was on the chop. So we were ready, right? That's the point. We were saying, well, let's see if the bulls can reclaim the 50. But I also know, hey, in case it doesn't, this is what we need to. And stocks got destroyed. Folks, one of the highest probability plays, and it has nothing to do with the PS60 theory, one of the highest probability plays is shorting earnings lows. I don't care what earnings lows it is. It could be a $2 stock. It could be a $2,000 stock. Once the stock blows up on earnings, has a dead cat bounce for like 2, 3, 4 days, whatever the case may be, and reclaims back earnings lows, starts a selling cycle. We've been talking about this in nausea for years. So here was Google, 309.60s and 306.46 is the earnings lows, short, right? So here was Google. Google got smashed, right? So here was the 309.60s. It lost the earnings lows and traded all the way down to 303. This is now the lowest close in the whole formation. The next one was Meta, right? The 50-day moving average. 50-day above 50 is bullish, below the 50 is bearish, right? 657, it's a 5-star short. Again, you don't get every single day 50-day reclaims, and you don't get every day 50-day losses. 50-day moving average, 657 on Meta, right? 5-day, 50 days short. Meta got smashed, right? Meta got smashed. Here's the 657, blah, 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 and stopped all the way down to 634. The reason why it stopped at 634, that is the daily linear regression line. Loses 634, there is going to be more pain, which will be correlated with the 594.70s with the QQQs, right? So that's that as well. MU, right? MU that day, if you guys remember, MU had a big reversal. It gapped up like 15 points that day. We couldn't do anything with it. Amazon, right? Amazon, 202.49 and $200.31. Earnings lows short. Folks, again, drive that into your game plan. As again, nothing to do with the PS60 theory. Earnings lows are the godsend. And yes, somebody's going to turn around and go, what about earnings highs? Yes, in a good market, earnings highs are exactly the same things as earnings lows. So here was Amazon. It lost the 202.40s, and here was the earnings low candle, right? It lost the $200.31, traded all the way down to 197. Again, there is more room to go if the Qs start building below the 150-day moving average. ALAB, I mean, if this was on your bingo card, it was on mine somehow on last Thursday. This was awesome. At first, it was just sitting there. This thing imploded. 141.60s and 137.50. 141.60s was earnings low. 137.50 was the monthly low. And look what they did with ALAB. Absolutely destroyed, right? So I got short right here. The damn thing took out the whole range low and just went all the way down to 122. Just an absolute amazing move as well. And Reddit, 136.60. And again, this is not an exclusive list. Like literally every single stock got murdered, especially in technology. But 136.60 is a short. And here was Reddit, 136.60. Here was a short. Took out this whole channel and traded all the way down to 127. So look, we have our levels, right? We have our levels. We have our levels in play. The only question is, again, there's two sides of the market. Is the market going to be, right, quote unquote, a dead cat bounce continuation, or are the Qs finally going to get rid of the February lows? If the February lows going to get hit, well, the February low is going to get hit very, very hard. So we'll watch those for this week. So let me give you guys some ideas, right? Let me give you guys some ideas for tomorrow, right? I got some good ones. I think so. We'll see. All right, let me see what we got. SoFi, a little bit slower of a trader. Not really my thing, but it held the bottom range, the February lows 3 times. Keep an eye on this thing for this week. Microsoft, right, has been absolutely destroyed, but you can see how it's holding this little baby channel here. It's held the same range back-to-back days. I'm watching this thing to the downside. Tesla, I caught this thing as a short on Friday. Man, we've been trading Tesla so well. If you're a Tesla trader, especially if you like pivots and Tesla combine, man, it's like peanut butter and jelly. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Tesla, just like the Qs, as you can see, held the 150-day moving average, okay? We saw some pretty aggressive put buying coming in for this week for the 405s. We saw some 400 puts as well. The key with Tesla is if it loses the 150-day moving average, why can't it test February lows, right? So again, the 150-day moving average is a pretty big deal. That's exactly where it stopped on Friday, right? Look at CPRT, right? CPRT. Again, earnings low plays, right? Again, doesn't necessarily have to be there for Tuesday, for tomorrow. But again, it blew up on earnings, had a dead cat bounce. Guys, just watch this thing below the earnings lows. Again, it's not going to be like a Tesla, so it'll give you 10 points, but this looks pretty damn good. So keep an eye on CPRT and NVIDIA, right? Let's talk about NVIDIA. So they come out with earnings soon. I don't know if it's this week. I have to check. Actually, you know what? Let's check as I'm talking, right? Let me check as I'm talking. So NVIDIA has every opportunity, or at least had every opportunity to get back above that 93.60s range for a very, very long time, okay? And the problem is it couldn't have done it. Okay, that's a very, very big problem. I'm just looking as I'm talking. Don't see earnings on the video for this week. Nope, I don't see it for this week. Anyway, because we still have a little bit of time here. All right. So NVIDIA finally got pulled, right? Finally got pulled on Thursday and got pulled on Friday. Well, why was it a big deal that got pulled on Friday? Because the market dead cat bounced on Friday. That's not really a good sign. When you have stocks that can't rally with a dead cat bounce, usually not a great sign. Now, yes, I don't know where the stock is going to be on earnings. Your guess is as good as mine. But here's the problem, right? It stopped right at the 100-day moving average. Now, what happens if it loses the 100-day moving average on Tuesday? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Well, there's a high probability that it goes to the next demand zone, which is all the way down to this 176 area. This is definitely going to be one of my top watches. I will be definitely watching this thing. If it loses the 100-day moving average, then we have a pretty good measured potential view on our hands. If you believe that the AI bubble is dead, which I think is ridiculous, and you want to make a reference point of what potentially could happen to NVIDIA, well, all you got to do is look at PLTR. Again, diamonds to dinosaurs, donuts to hand grenades, but at least they're correlated, right? At least they're correlated in the same groups. I'm definitely watching NVIDIA as well. So that's it. That's my spiel. I'm happy we're off on Monday. If you are planning to join us this week, guys, take advantage of the 30-day. Come hang out, see what it's all about, and see if it's a right fit for you. God bless everybody. Have a great, great day off. And God's help, we will see each other on the field tomorrow.